Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hello, my name, I'm called Susan Akelo. I am from Uganda. Currently, I am working here in Dubai as a cashier in one of the supermarkets here. I have about 2 years now living here. So I am venturing into online marketing. I am trying to open my YouTube channel. So I majorly want to record a video to officially welcome you to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is known as Beautiful Souls. Beautiful Soul. So anytime, check me out on my YouTube channel. I'll be bringing you a variety of entertainment. We shall talk about sports. We shall talk about love, relationships, marriage. There'll be comedy. We shall talk about everything. We shall talk about family. We shall talk about the trends, the recent trends. We shall do some business. And I will also talk about personal experiences. Maybe that will help someone out there. And anything, you can check me out. I can also help to sell your items. If there is any situation you can want me to talk about, you can just check me out on my link. Then I'll be happy to help you with anything. So welcome to my YouTube channel, and I am glad you have taken time to listen to me. So I want to officially talk to you about who I am. So as I told you before, my name is Susan Akelo. I come from Uganda in a place called Soroti. It's occupied by Itasots in that country. I am from a tribe of Itasots, and I'm from a family of 9 children, 5 girls, and 4 boys. Those some are not there. So me, I am the third last born from the lineage. Our family is not a rich family. It is, I can say, a poor family, because our growing up was not that flamboyant. It was not a beautiful experience. We lacked so many things in life. Growing up in crowded family, you have to share beds, you have to share plates, you have to sleep together like that. So it's not something that was beautiful. I remember in 1991 there, I was living with our father in a cotton ginnery where he used to work. We were living in a place called Kachumbala. As a cotton ginnery, we were in the staff quarters. So we used to run around, go to the cotton ginnery, enjoy the slides, and sometimes we just get cotton and throw it in those tunnels. So we would like to watch it going down into the processing area. Then sometimes we go and help sorting it, a little sort out. But by then I was too little, maybe only 3 years, so I barely have any experience. They just tell me what they used to do. Wow, they used to carry me along and they take me there with my sisters, of course. Then in 1993, we relocated back to my original father's land, that is now in Soroti itself. Because of the war that was in Africa, in Uganda, the Karamojongs. I don't know if you know about the Karamojongs. They came, attacked my tribe, and they took our cows, they took the cattle, they killed people, they displaced so many people. So my family had to first run around and relocate to Kashumbara. But then, after the insurgency, everything settled down. Then now, of course, the family had to come back now to Soroti. So 93 was the official year when we returned back to Soroti now, to our father's home, our father's homeland. So by then I was about 5 years. So I remember how we came, the whole journey, how it was. I remember my father's home was just a bush. It was a bush, too much spear grass, reached there at night, all in darkness. There was no sign of human being, you know. It was just a bush because the home that they had built in a long time had collapsed. They just remained with just, how do I call it? Reeds, just leftovers of a home, but it was not even a home. It was just a bush, just bricks only lying there. So first we were taken to stay with in our father's home where he grew up. That is his father's home. We went there. We were received by one of the aunties. We can call her auntie. So we lived there for like a month or so when they were trying to build our father's home. But me being little, I just kept on playing, and as they kept on building, clearing the grass, in Africa those days we don't use this modern technology of machines, trucks, and those heavy duty machines for clearing the construction site. You just have to get the hose, get the axes, get the bangers. You go and cut around, slash around, and dig. Even the home where they were going to build and the kind of house they were building, it was just mud. Just collect sticks, then you dig down and put those sticks. You get mud, you mix the mud with the soil like that, and you just plaster around those poles which have been laid around circle like this to make a structure of a house, round house. So they will plaster that mud to make a wall on those poles. They make a wall on it. Then up they also get some furniture, some sticks, some poles. They make a roof out of it. Then they cut grass, special spear grass. They will cut the grass and they put to cover those poles up there. So that is what they used to do those days to make homes, to make a house. So they will thatch it. They thatch it with the grass and it becomes a house. They will get a small dog. And that is a home. That's how we lived. That is how we grew up. We grew up in a mud houses. No electricity, no water, so you have to move long distance to get water, just like that. So life was not easy. And being many people, many children, our parents really had to pass through a lot of work so to make us grow up. Yes. And that is the same year when I started my school now, 1993. I'm not sure if this was 1993, but that's, if I count my years, maybe that's the time I started school. I don't know. But I vividly remember our first day at school in the new district, new school, new home. Oh my God. It was quite hectic. Coming from another district. First of all, the whole village knew we were new to the place. The children of our age used to kind of like us, fear us. Then others, of course, the braggants, the bullies, they wanted to beat us like that. So that day, I remember our mother went and registered us at school. So we went to school. It was me and my 3 sisters. They were a bit grown up than me. So we went to school. We reached there. We didn't know the time of going to school. I mean, being a new place and everyone is scared. So we went there. We were all scared of entering to school. So we actually reached school late. When we reached there, everyone looked at us and was so scared. The way we spoke, because our dialect was a bit different from theirs, how they pronounce their words. So when we try to talk, they don't seem to understand our language, and yet we speak the same language, the Iteso language. So it was a bit hard for us to fit in a bit. The kids used to bully us at school. They used to kind of beat us. Others used to fear us. So like we really had no friends at the time. At least for some time we really had no friends. We were just for ourselves. So that's how school started. So we went to school just like that. Then yeah, gradually we got used to going to school. And of course, you know the type of schools also I'm talking about. Life. The schools are just made of walls and roof. There are no seats. No seats, no blackboards for the teachers to write. You simply sit down. And that was majorly the bigger classes, the upper classes. Let's say primary, from primary 5, 6, 7. Those are the classes that used to sit in a class. As we were from down, I never actually went to a nursery school. Pre-primary, I did not go to pre-primary. I simply joined the primary school. I think by then I was 5. So, and those days, being 1993, in my local village, we never used to have a nursery. There was no nursery school. So we just went to a primary school. We just studied under a mango tree, you know. We used to just study under a mango tree. So like if it rains, there's no school for that day. There's no school. You simply run and hide under some veranda like that, and you wait for the rain to stop, and you go home. Sometimes when it rains, you simply run through the rain and go home. That would be a very good advantage when it is raining. Or when it is blowing, you simply play because the teacher cannot do anything. So that was how we grew up. You get sticks. They tell you to clear the soil down there on the floor. You clear it. Then they tell you to write. The teacher can show on a small piece of blackboard. She would write something. Then she tells you also to copy it down on the floor. Using your sticks, you draw the ground like that. You draw pictures. So it was a very tough time, you know, that tough experience growing up. You know, like it was elementary, majorly they used to teach us just things by word of mouth because there was nothing to write. There was no stationery, no writing. There was no blackboards to see. So the teacher would just say, this is a finger, this one is a hand, these are fingers, like that. This is a tree. So that is how we used to learn, and that is how you understand. Even the exams, they will tell you, what is this? Then you have to answer. Show me your hand. You should. Show me your teeth. You open like that. So that is how we grew up in Africa, in my country, Uganda, and especially in my village at the time. So, but school was interesting, and we did not know any other thing apart from that, because everywhere it was like that. That was how it used to be. And during that time, even girl child education was not common. It was not common to find so many girls at school, because at that time they were still marrying off the girl child at the age of 16, 17. You find the girls get out of school, they go and get married. Others would not even actually just come to school. They would grow up at home. The mothers would teach them what to do, the aunties, and the the people around the clan. It was majorly a clan thing. So like you grow up in the clan, they teach you what a woman is supposed to do. And when they see you are ripe, they would even get for your husband, they marry you off, and that is it. So it was a privilege that our parents wanted a future for us. So they actually took us to school. My father actually made sure he took all his children to school, no matter the conditions. So we studied until after I studied all those classes, we passed through. Then 1995, I felt so ill. I was so sick that I was almost dying. That was in my primary 3. After 3 classes, I was very sick. I contacted measles. Measles. I contacted measles, and I fell sick for over like 6 months. I was just sick. I couldn't eat. I was very tiny. Maybe I was about to die. I don't know. Being a child, they just used to carry me everywhere. My mother used to carry me just because I couldn't walk. I couldn't sit. I was just very sick. And at that time, there was no medicine like this where you just take the child to hospital and you get no. They would just give me those local herbs, There was the herbalist. There used to be herbalist in my village. So like a mom would go to one, then they would take her, they dig for her all types of roots. The roots, she brings them, they tell her how to mix them. So she would mix them up to whatever they say, then they would give me to drink the concoction. But that is how we used to believe that was the medicine, and it used to work. It used to work. It was the herbal medicine that we used to use those days. So some was for drinking, some they make fire on it, then they cover you on that fire, then the smoke. You have to inhale the smoke, and also that smoke should enter into your skin. That was how they used to treat. So like they burn it on fire. The dry ones, they throw it on fire, then it would bring the smoke, then the smoke they tell to cover on that smoke. Then you sweat, you lose a lot of sweat through that heat. Yeah, you lose a lot of sweat through that heat. Yeah, and that is how we used to heal any kind of disease. That is how they knew how to heal it. These herbalists, they knew different ways of treating any kind of disease. They knew every root that would let it be flu, let it be diarrhea. Of course, those days, those were the common sicknesses. It was diarrhea, measles, what else? Malaria. But like they didn't know that it's malaria actually. People used to die of malaria, and little was it known that it's actually malaria, because you are sick of malaria, someone just gets for you a root, just goes and digs up some kind of fruit and they give you to drink. And if does not really treat it, then someone will die. Yeah, so I was so sick. I spent 6 months at home. Even when I could recover, I was very tiny. I had no energy. I couldn't stand on my own. So they couldn't take me to school. So I had to stay home for over 6 months. Then when I went back to school finally, towards the end of the year, okay, I did the exams. I passed average, but my mother then decided I should repeat the class so I can do what? I can catch up and take up the knowledge of that class. So I repeated my primary 3. So 1993, 1994, all I was in one class. That is primary 3. Yeah. So, but remember, I was a very sharp girl. Actually, I was very clever. Even after 6 months, I was able to pass average. That it was wonderful. So that was it. So I studied. I passed, of course, a repeated class. I had the knowledge. So I passed immediately. I passed very well. Now in 1994, I passed very well. I was among the top 7. Yes. Then I went to my primary 4. my primary 4. And now there comes the language of English. My goodness. That is the time when they start to teach you English. Most of these small classes, they majorly teach you 1 or 2, not very much. Mostly the teaching is in the local language. So that's the time. I remember that's the time I was beaten. That's the time I was beaten for learning English. Wow. I remember my teacher. She was called Lydia. Madame Lydia. Very fat, light-skinned lady like this. Wow. And first of all, she was not from the tribe. She was from another tribe, so she did not know the language. She only knew how to speak her language. So you find that her only other way of communication was English. So when she comes to class, it is only English. No other language. No matter how she's trying to explain, if you do not understand, you have to understand. So, we're beaten. being a local school in some village. For her, she was coming from town in a little bit modernized place. My goodness, she beat us. She saw that the kids were dumb. Actually, she had requested to be transferred back to her region because she saw she could not manage. But still, being a teacher, she had to find a way. First of all, she had to learn the language. So somehow when she's explaining, she would at least chip in something so people could understand. But she was a very strict teacher. She beat us. Hi! That woman, she beat me, I remember. Because of these pronouns, preposition, adverbs, verbs, vowels, constructing sentences. That is where the cane came from. Sometimes I would remember a day when she was, is it preposition to, on, and. Well, I don't know if those are prepositions or those are pronouns. I don't even understand. So the whole class could not pronounce it. She would say, the book is table. She puts it on top. Then like they want you to complete the sentence. She'll put there different words on, under, between, in. So children did not know. They ask you. Construct the sentence using one of the words. So if you say the book is in the table outside, they would line us up on that door of the classroom. Then she would cane you. They cane maybe the legs. Maybe she would tell you put your hands like this. So you put your hands like this. Then she would slash your hands. You enter in the class. So that was how we learned English. And she was the same teacher who would teach almost 4 or 5 classes, because primary 4, primary 5, primary 6, even up to primary 7. She was the only English teacher. So she had work to do. She had to teach all. So somehow we started picking up, because of course, even in the next class you'll meet her, so you have to work hard and learn what she's saying. So the caning continued until after primary 6 now. Primary 6. That is when now my parents shifted me to another better school, because of that primary 7 is the cutting points where you have to graduate to do the final exams of the primary level, so you can enter in the secondary level. So they wanted me to do something to perform better and in a good school, so I can be registered in a better school for my secondary school. So that was 2000. I went to a different school. I went back to our former place where we used to live, where our father used to work. That was in Kachumbala, in a cotton engineering. That's where I was taken. I was taken there with one of my brothers, the one who follows me, to stay with our father as we studied, because that school, there was a school there which was good. It was a good school and children used to pass very well. So our parents took us there, but still being, I think I was now 13, maybe 12, 13 years then. So we had to stay with our father alone. I was the one cooking food. and be managing as a woman in the home, managing as a woman in the home. So most times I either cook food and forget to read the books, or I just go to school and leave the dishes not washed. I leave the plates when they're very dirty, like that. So my father also had issues with me because I was lazy girl. I was actually lazy girl. I liked playing a lot. I used to play so much. I loved playing, and I was a sports person. I didn't tell you that. I was a very good sports person. I used to do all sports activities at school. I used to run. I used to jump, sky high jump. I used to do long jump. I used to do drama, acting, dancing. I used to do almost everything at school. I loved sports. I loved sports so much. Even up to today, I love sports. So I used to do almost everything. Every time I used to do everything. I used to play netball. I used to play volleyball. I used to compete in almost all activities at school. So my father had issues with me. Playing was too much. Playing was too much. Even at school, when now in my upper class, I used to compete. That was the time now when I think my talent had improved. I was running too much. I was going places for competition. Now my books had to suffer. Somehow I passed. I passed in the third grade. Actually, I passed in the third grade. My performance dropped down because, they would take me to different districts to do competition for the school, running, playing. Sometimes we go for drama competition and dancing, traditional dances like that. So most times you'll be like out of school like for a full week. You are all doing competition. You're competing with other schools, other students, and they want you to perform well. Most of the time when you are maybe back to school, they do a lot of training. We do a lot of training. You're out of class. So that is how my papers suffered. So I got third grade. After that, I was in that place where my father used to work. That's where my father actually got my mother from his place. That's how they fell in love and married, and now we had to relocate. Yeah, so after my primary school, my primary 7, I passed third grade. So now that was now 2000, and that time now the cotton ginnery ran out of business. There was no more business in the cotton ginnery. The managers, I don't know, the whites, I don't know, maybe the whites or the Indians, I don't know which people were managing the ginnery by then, returned to their country. So the thing collapsed. My father now had no job. He had to come back home. So we had to relocate now, finally, officially. My father had to leave there and relocate back to Soroti now. He had to pack everything. So we went back to Soroti. And that is where now life got hard. That is now where our life got hard. Because when my father used to work, he used to pay the little small fees. We used to have food. We used to feed. We used to have clothing. Yeah. I would say it was fair, but now when my father's job ended, now he had to come home. Things got hard for my mother, having 9 children and in different ages. By then, okay, our first 2 sisters had finished school. Actually, they were married, they had kids. Then about four, let's see, Helen, Teddy, Evelyn, me, Joseph. Yeah, about 5 of us were at school in different levels. I was going secondary level. We had a sister in high school. We had my brother in a primary school. We had another sister in a tertiary institution. Oh my goodness, life had become very hard for my parents. So they had to resort into agriculture, into digging. Thank God my father, those days when he was still working, he bought very good land, enough land, very big land. So we had to resort into agriculture. Oh my God, I am telling you, we worked. We worked for every penny for paying our school fees. From the time our father stopped working, until the time we finished school. It was out of digging in the garden, digging, selling alcohol, and vending foodstuffs in the marketplaces on the roadsides to collect school fees. I am telling you, it was not an easy journey. We used to go to the garden like 5 a.m. in the morning, and yet you have to go to school by 8. So we'd go, you'd dig, then run back home, bathe, and then go to school. And we never used to, we did not go to boarding school because actually, you see, there was no money. There was no money to go to boarding school. All the money, first of all, is small money that you get from digging, because say, for example, you cultivate cassava. Cassava takes during that time, because the kind of cassava that was there in 2000 there, it was this type which matures after 8 to 1 year. 8 to 1 year, that is when it will mature. So if we cultivate cassava, maybe a vast piece of land, say 1 acre, 2 acres, that one is going to take 1 year to mature for you to harvest it. So you have to plant maize, you have to plant millet, you have to grow different types of crops, so you get the long term, the short term also, so you can sell. And sometimes it would get hard that my mother has to sell the cassava when it is still in the garden, because now say 2000 I joined 2000, that was 2000 primary. Now from 2001 I joined the secondary. From secondary we were three sisters who were in secondary. From 2001 I was joining my secondary 1. My other sister was in secondary 2. My other one was in the HEC, in the advanced class. And my brother, who follows me, is already in the upper primary, doing the final level to join also secondary. And that class also needs money. Now just look at that. The other one who was in tertiary institution, oh my God, everything was very hard for my parents. It was very, very hectic. And we had no one to help us. We really did not have anyone helping us. We never had any uncle. We never had brother, maybe my father's brothers. No, my mother also came from a very poor background. We never had any uncles from my mother's side who could help us. There was only one man who could help us from my father's side. He was a very rich man. We call him uncle, but he was a very mean guy. He never used to help us. He never picked a penny to help us. So we had to work with our own hands. We worked with our own hands. If I remember those days, I just feel like crying. It was very, very, very difficult. I remember a time when it was so hard that now we had to resort into selling the local brews. Local brew. You have to make it with your own hands. It's the millet brew. It is brewed from my side of the country. Our local drink, the alcohol. It is made out of millets. There are two types. There's one which is made out of millet, which is called agony. Then the other one is also made out of cassava, maybe with a mixture of millet. It's warrage. Not this purified. Okay, it's also purified, but it's made out of cassava. My goodness, it was very hard. Our mother had to teach us how to make it, because now she could not make it by herself to be enough for all the children. So all of us have to make it. We would ferment the millets. Oh my God, if I start to talk about it, even I want to cry. You have to ferment them. First of all, grind it, maybe sacks and sacks. Then now start to ferment it with your own hands. You mix it with water, then you have to mix it hard. Oh my God, you have to blend it so hard. Then we have to dig the ground, because we don't have enough tins to pack it, and the whole process. So we have to dig holes in the ground, arrange it properly. Then you have to ferment it. You pack it there. You bury it under the ground, maybe for 7 days, majorly 7 days. After 7 days, now again you have to bring it out of the ground and start roasting. My God, my God. You roast that millet. It can take 1-2 days when you're roasting. And to roast it, you have to collect too much firewood that would roast that millet until when it is ready. After roasting, you will have to dry it. You have to dry it. After drying, then now you will have to go and brew it. Jesus. That was the worst experience. And it used to be almost every week for us to get school fees. For us to, even we used not to eat at school because there's no money. If they manage to pay school fees, you are grateful, you thank God. You only want to see that your parents have paid school fees. We were almost school dropouts because apparently you start school after 2-3 weeks, they chase you back home. You don't have money. So you have to go, you have to come first help the mother to dig those things and make some money, then again go back to school. It is not enough. You study when you're making it like this. It was not easy, but then we had to persist because our mother was a very good woman. She would advise us. She was kind. She would always talk to us and tell us to stay strong, to persevere. She wants the best for us. She wants the best for our future. She was supportive. She would always advise us. She worked so hard. And my father really, after the January thing, he was kind of a sick man. He had become old already. So he was non-productive anymore. So like it was the mother who took over. So we had to help our mother in every way. We had to help her. So you dig. First of all, you dig in the morning, you come and do this millet, you have to come and ferment it. Then maybe if there's one which is supposed to be brewed, you have to brew it. After 3 days of when it is ready, now it is time to sell. Oh, selling is another problem. Selling is another one where you have to carry it to the marketplace, to a joint where they drink it from. Then from there, they drink it with hot water. You know hot water? You have to cook hot water. Let's say for a brew of a drum, a quantity of a drum. That should be like, I don't know how many liters, 400 liters? A drum is how much? 400 liters or 600 liters? I don't know, depending on the quantity you have produced for that day. You have to cook water, hot water the whole day. And the drunkards, the ones who drink it will come at different times, at different intervals. Oh, Jesus. You must kneel down for every customer that comes to drink your alcohol, for your brew, who comes to buy your brew. You have to kneel down, Jesus. Like someone will come, you have to welcome them with a good heart, give them where to sit. Then someone will sit, you go and get a small scoop, you give them to taste. When they like it, they make their order. Now you have to prepare it. Now you carry it with maybe a tube. There are special designed tubes for drinking it. Then now you start to bring the hot water for drinking. Oh goodness, you carry hot water every time. After he finishes, he will say, bring more power. You bring more power. You will keep pouring that hot water in that drink until when the taste is over. That's when a customer will pay you. And trust me, if you have been to business, you know what customers are. You know what kind of customers you have seen. The type of customers who drink alcohol, who drink local brews, they're worse. Someone will come with a good heart. smiling, he's sober. After 2-3 times of this drinking, he starts to get tipsy. When the customer becomes tipsy, he starts scorning. Now he wants a woman. He starts looking for you. He starts asking you, come here. He wants to touch. He wants to go with you to his house. He wants to touch you. He wants to fall with you. Some of them starts asking for special attention. Like if another customer asks, bring for me hot water, I say, why should you go there? Stay here only with me. Be with me only. Hey, let them be there. Remember, this is your own drink you're selling, and the person says should only serve him, should not serve another customer. You should sit there. Then how will you get it? And some of them, they just drink. When they see they are satisfied, they simply say, I am first going to smoke. He will pass in the bush and disappear. With your money, he will not pay, he's gone. That one is the loss for you. Others, he will just come, drink. After he's satisfied, he will say, today I did not carry money, so tomorrow I'll pay you tomorrow. So imagine someone has finished drinking. He has not even told you from the beginning that maybe he will drink on credit. No. He will just drink. You serve the person, you kneel down, you cook hot water the whole day. You are fetching water from I don't know where, bringing it. You have to give good customer service. You're running up and down, and it's not one person, like a full bar you are serving. You have not eaten the whole day. Remember, you have to work like that. Tomorrow you have to run to school. Because you're now happy, maybe after they finish drinking my drink, then tomorrow I have school fees, I'll be going to school. Oh my God, someone has disappeared with your money. Someone has come to drink on credit. Someone wants to molest you. This is the life which we passed through. This is the life I passed through. I don't know, maybe I am creating a picture for you to see. This is the picture I want you to see. This is the life that African girl passes through. When you see an African girl making it in life, when you see her shining, and when she opens her mouth to tell you the life experiences that African girls, especially from my homeland, pass through. Forget about these ones who just sell their bodies to make money, They accept the men's advances, then they're like, okay. The man will say, if I sleep with you, I'll give you your school fees. You go sleep with him, they give you school fees. But tell me, how many risks do you undergo? Tell me how many girls have dropped out of school out of such. So, our mother was our role model. She always wanted the best for us, and she never accepted any of us to fall short of such advances. So she wanted us to work hard, use our hands to create something out of our own hands and use it for our future. So this is how we worked. This is how life continued. Like for 4 years, for almost 6 years, that is how we were suffering. Sometimes on holiday time, that was the best time now when we were selling, because we were all at home, we are not going to school. So we would brew too much quantities, to the extent that sometimes we take the whole center, we take the whole town. We go and book the bus in advance. Maybe in a week, you book, like, this week I am going to sell. So like 3 bars, you book 3-4 bars. Then the distributors, you go to the other bar, you go to the other bar, you go to the other bar. Early in the morning at 6 o'clock, everyone is riding a bicycle with, say, 4 jerrycans of brew running. You go, you pack it there, you come and carry the calabashes, the small pots, the tubes for drinking, you carry the saucepans for cooking water. Oh my God, you carry the saucepans, you carry everything. Oh my God, I'm telling you, I wish I had a picture. I would just show you how life is. But don't worry, just go, you type culture in Uganda, then especially type Iteso culture, or the local drinks. You can just say the local drinks of Iteso, ITESO. the local drink of Iteso. Iteso is Iteso. That is in Uganda. Or you can simply type culture in Uganda. They'll bring you different cultures in Uganda. And I'm telling you, Uganda is rich with culture. But those cultures, if you just read deep, you will see how we suffer to come out of those cultures. So that's how life was. We passed through. We managed to finish school. We finished school, then now comes the HSC, now the advanced school. We finished that one also successfully. Somehow our first sister, she just married a normal person. Her husband was, when they first got married, was just working, but he was not good, he was not earning that well. Then 2005, he actually joined politics. When he joined politics, he passed as a member of parliament. Now that is where things started changing for us. That's how things started changing for us, because when he became member of parliament, of course, now he had good money. He took care of our education for my higher school. That was in my senior 5, secondary 5, secondary 6. He paid for our school fees, me and my sister, even our young brother who was in the secondary level. He paid until when we joined university. When we joined university now, somehow this man, of course, was not only for us. He had a full constituency to take care of. So whatever he was giving us for education now, when it came to joining university, was not enough. So our parents had, of course, to continue supporting. He actually preferred that he would only manage to pay fees, tuition fees, for only one person. Then the other person, me and my sister, the family would continue to help the person. So we passed well, actually. We passed our HSC. Then actually I performed better than my sister. I performed better than her. So our in-law chose me. He chose me. He said he liked to continue educating me because I was a bit intelligent and I was clever and I was serious with my studies. We were actually very serious because given the past experience of struggling every day, every night, digging and selling the local brew, I haven't talked to you about the warag. Oh my goodness. The warag, just type the culture in Uganda and type how the local brews in Uganda, you will see the process. I am telling you, you will see it. This one is the worst, where you have to boil the brew maybe in a drum. You boil it in a drum. There's the process. The process is just complicated. There's a way they make it in the drum. Then they put the pipe. The pipe goes up to another liter kind of. There's a tube, they put it there, and this drum is all sealed up. You know, it's metallic, maybe like those paint drums. It is all sealed up. They put only one pipe, one tube that will bring the what? I can call it. Is it the smoke? Is that the vapor? Is that the heat from inside? That heat of the boiling brew inside is the one that makes warage. Yeah, so they put only one pipe, so that pipe will transfer that heat that condenses and becomes water, and that water is the warage. It passes through, and that's the one you collect from the other side and in jerry cans and becomes the warage. Then you sell it after. So all that we passed through, we sold all those kinds of things. We vended food from let's say, for example, the maize. We would cook the maize, then we take it to the market, we sell them. Sometimes we carry it to the roadside, we roast it from there, people would buy it. Like on Sundays when people are going to church, you know that there are so many people around the center, so you cook the maize early in the morning. You can stand on there with your maize, display it here, then people would buy it like that. Yeah, so university now came. Actually, we really didn't have relationships that time because our parents were too protective, especially my father. He always wanted his children to have something in life. And I can honestly say in the whole village, it was only our home, only my father is the one who managed to educate his children. Our family only, because all our friends from the village got married because of their hardships, our the boys that they come and just lie you, they confuse you with small little change. They buy for you maybe a panty, then you think the person has money. Maybe they take you, they buy for you a soda, a drink, then you think the person has money. They sleep with you, you get pregnant. That becomes your husband. You go for marriage. Others, they just take them from school, they can get married. And since there was no money, they couldn't manage the hardship, so they just had to get married. And of course, they marry into the same poor families. They just become laborers. They're digging up and down, looking for local labor, cheap labor. You want someone clear your garden, they're the ones who are doing that. But thank God for us, we had role models. Apparently, role models. They were showing us what to do. Even when they would speak, when they would tell you, "This is what I want you to become," we used not to know. We're like, "Oh, with all these hardships, how will I pass that education? How will I reach there?" My father would bring pictures, maybe in the newspaper, and you see this woman is a minister. You see, I want you to study and be like this. They'll be like, "How come on, Dad? With all this brew I am brewing, I am sweating myself, I'm not eating, and you think I will become a minister? Look at my skin, just look at my skin. How will I become a minister? With all the scars and the bruises of looking for firewood, you are chopping firewood, you're chopping your hands, you are cutting yourself up and down, you are always dirty, putting on dirty clothes, running up and down, you have not bathed the whole day, you are smelling the brew itself. Imagine cooking the whole day, cooking hot water the whole day, you are smelling smoke, you have not eaten." And someone tells you that I want you next to become an accountant. Just tell me how you're going to answer that person. So they knew that if we were to work hard and be dedicated and focus would be there. But we never knew would be. Indeed, I never knew what I would become in life. Actually, even when they would ask us, "What do you want to become when you grow up?" I tell them I don't know. Because first of all, there is no media. I mean, there was no media at that time. It is only small radio you hear, and you hear the local news. We never used to watch any TV so that maybe you see things in the world, you see news in the world, you see how people are, how people dress, how people behave, trends, so that you get inspired, be like, "Oh, I want that thing. I want to be like that person." No, you were just there in a green world, just green world. So we only got to be introduced to the world now when we went to our HSC, and then when we joined university, that's when we started to see things. That is now how we started to see things. That is now where we fell in love. That's where I got my first boyfriend at my university. Actually, it was my university mate. Actually, he was the very first guy I saw when the first day when we went to university. It is a very funny story. It was a very fun story because we're just entering through the gate to go inside, me and my sister, and we're coming out of the gate. So we simply asked them, we are new, we want to go to Dean of Studies. Where is the Dean of Studies? We want to go and register. So they were like, you are new, oh, okay. We are not going anywhere far, so let's go. We shall take you. So they took us there. They kept asking, what's your name? Where are you coming from? Which place? Which course? Being the first people, we became friends, became acquaintances, and love came after. So that's how it was. That's how love came about. Yeah, so I would say university was also not easy, because though I had that sponsorship from my husband, from my sister's husband. Of course, he would give my sister money for my school, but then my sister would always divide the money to pay the tuition for two of us, me and my sister. He would give me full tuition, full school fees, cater for my school fees, my requirements and everything. But normally they would divide that fees into two people. So they would pay half for me, they would pay half for my sister. And now the other half would be brought by my parents, but they were always not on time, you know what I mean? Because you have to collect the one, pick one for me and collect and make money. And university is not a simple thing. So even at university, they actually could send us away from university. Yeah, they sent us away from university. But then I couldn't tell him. I couldn't go to his place. My sister would warn me strongly, if you ever step a foot in my house to complain that you were chased away from school because of fees. You want my husband to kill me? I will kill you first. So I would not step a foot in my sister's house. We just remain in our rented room. We actually not even stay in the hostel or dormitories. No. They rented for us a small room, one room actually. That's why I was staying with my sister. So we'll just stay there until they send us money, then we'll come back to school, to the university. Yeah, so that's how my life is. That's how I grew up. It was not an easy go. It was always a life of challenges. I fought too much to accomplish my school. It was really very hard. We never had anything good in life. This thing of how campus life is and all those glitters and all the life at campus, going clubbing, eating things, dating and doing what, dancing. We never had it because we were short of things in life. We never really enjoyed school life at all because it was all about pain. It was always about struggling. It was always about it's either school fees, it's either late coming, but we were not bad performers actually. So we completed school fees, we completed the university, we graduated. When I graduated, actually before I graduated, I got another boyfriend. The other one actually, when we went for holidays, the first year holidays, he got another person from his home area and ended up getting married. They produced twins, so I couldn't manage continuing with him, so we had to separate. So I got in love to another man, and that's my husband up to now. I did not get in love again. I didn't fall in love again. I only got him, and that is it. So that story is for another day. That is another part of my life. That's another episode, because when I open that episode now, you wouldn't want to listen, because my life is full of challenges. Too much challenges. And I am here starting on this mission to change my life. I have not enjoyed anything good in this life. I have always left every good thing to wait for me. I have made life to wait for me. I have made everything, all my dreams, all my aspirations, all the visions, everything, I have always put them into wait mode with hope that the day when I make my life, then that's when I'll pick up from where I left them from. So this is the time now I have to live my dream life. This is the time I have to change. I have to make things right. I am opening this channel to make things right. I don't want to continue living a life of my parents. I don't want to live in a life where I came from. I want to change my life and live a life that I want. The life of freedom, the life of abundance, the life of I can travel anywhere, I can be anywhere, I can live anywhere. Even the type of jobs where we are working now do not give us that freedom, do not give us that luxury. So I want to try something new, something that will give me a freedom that I need, that will give me what I want. I want to travel this world. I want to live my dream life I want to be a better person. And I want to help some people there that need my help. There's so much to do in my life, but all the to-do list is pending. So that's why I request you, subscribe through my channel. You can leave your comments, like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Please, I request for your comments, I request for your shares, I request for your subscription for my channel so I can be monetized, and get something good for my life. I have so much on my table I need to present into this world. I have some niches, I have some material I need to show to the world, but I need to first start with this channel. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for watching me. This is my first step in life. This is my first video, and I hope to find you there next time when I come to talk to you. Please subscribe for my channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be shooting videos maybe after every 3 days or a week, like that. So every week you should expect new things, new videos coming in for me. And I would, just like I said, whatever you want to say, you can just leave it on my comments. I will find it there, then I can be able to work upon it. It can be a challenge, it can be a good comment. I need to improve on something, I need to talk about something, maybe something you want to know more about me. I can do everything. So that's what I want from you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a good business associate. And thank you for having me around. It's been a long journey. I bored you with my story of how I grew up, how we used to eat rotten mangoes, raw mangoes, how we used to eat cassava only for sleeping, no food. Sometimes when you fail to get food, then you have to make your children sleep with only porridge. Maybe you manage to get only potatoes. You only eat potatoes for a whole day to survive. Sometimes there's a time when there was famine in my country. After that was 1995, I think, 95. There was too much famine. Oh my God. People used to starve like the whole day without food. Oh goodness, thank God by then my father was still working. So they would buy for us some small type of fish like this, small fish. Then it was not easy, actually. It was not easy because people used to come begging to our home. They were like, I'm willing to do anything to get food. My children have not eaten for one day. For the whole of yesterday, they are crying. Children would cry. Sometimes you'd see children coming to hide around in your environment, behind your homes, behind your houses, because they need food. So like when time for eating comes, you just have to call them, come and eat. It was not easy life. Life was not really easy. It was very, very hard for us to come up to this age, for you to see me smiling. Now it was not easy because it was a very hard job. Maybe if my parents were not to be there, to be strict on us, I don't know where I would have been by now. I think I would be spoiled brat. I would have produced 1,000 children. I think so. Because apparently my friends, my age mates from the village who go to marry those days, they have 5, they have 6 kids. And you ask yourself, oh my goodness, how did you produce all those kids in just a range of 10 years? Someone is having 5 kids. Oh my goodness, 2 years, I don't know. Anyway, I cannot say it because I'm not there. So that is my life. There's so much. I couldn't tell you everything about it. There's case studies on my life. So really, I was just telling you small parts and some details about some things, but not everything. Yeah, but the truth is life was not easy. It was always a very, very hard struggle. It was full of sacrifices. It was full of tears, sometimes just tears, sometimes prayers, sometimes patience, sometimes advice, counseling, because it was not easy. I can only say, yeah, some of my sisters tried to fail because some of them got pregnant along the way. They succumbed to the situations. They got pregnant, but my father still took them back to school. They are now in good places. They're enjoying themselves. Others are successfully married. Others they're doing their own businesses. Others they're not yet married, but they're working in good places. Like that. So life, life, life. I can only say I thank God who brought me this far. I thank my parents who made sure that I did what I had to do. And my sponsor, my uncle-in-law, who tried the very best to put a smile on my face. He made sure I put a smile on my face. So these are people that I'm internally grateful to in my life, and I want to do something for them. So thank you for having me here. I'm sure I am going to return with good news next time when I see you. Thank you, and you have a blessed day. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a good listener. God bless you. Amen. Bye.